Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Global Education. My name is George. We've got another webinar for you tonight. This is one of our key partners, the University of Westminster. In this webinar session, you're going to meet Martin, and I'll do a little bit of Martin's introduction shortly. This webinar is all about studying at Westminster and the UK. Please feel free to put your questions, in the Q&A section in the chat box area. And we do know there is some load shedding in South Africa, but as always, we'll record these webinars and reshare them with you as well. So if you are on this webinar and you'd like to share it with your school, just let me know, take a photo of that barcode on the screen or on that side over there, and it'll direct you straight to me as well. So please, by all means, get those questions coming through to us. We've got a couple minutes here to spare while we wait for people to sign in. Just going to let everybody know that you will receive a newsletter email with all of this information, some links that Martin would have referred to, some information from us at Global, and the recording for this webinar as well. And at the end of the webinar, if you do want to fill in a survey for us, let us know how we went. It'll be on your screen or in the email, thank you email that you will receive. All right, guys, I'm going to introduce Martin. Martin is the International Student Recruitment and Partnership Coordinator at the University of Westminster. He's new to our region. We've enjoyed working with him so far, and I'm sure you're in for a real treat today. Martin, the floor is yours.
Thanks, George. Hi, everyone. Yep, so my name is Martin Davis from the University of Westminster. I'm a Londoner born and bred. I'm very happy to hopefully welcome you all to my city, to the UK. I'm sure those of you that are interested, you obviously know a little bit about London, and being a student in London is a very, very exciting prospect and experience for everyone who's here. So I will be running through just to give you a bit more information about the university today, to share some information about our different campuses, opportunities that you have as a student with us. And obviously, as George said, we'll be going through answering any questions that you have, whether you're an undergraduate or postgraduate student or looking to study that. Please feel free at the end. We'll go through everything as best we can. So yeah, very happy to be here and hope you're well. And I just let me know if you want me to share my screen. Yeah, okay, right, let's go. Okay, all right. Okay. So that should be there now. Great, okay. So the University of Westminster, lots of opportunities around the world for you, particularly the UK. If you're thinking of London, then we are an excellent option for you. As you can see here by the title, we are based in the heart of London. So if you're someone looking for the urban metropolis experience, or the opportunities that come with that in terms of cultural opportunities, professional opportunities, you name it, study opportunities, the University of Westminster is an excellent place to consider, and hopefully you'll join us, some of you. So a bit of a welcome, a bit more about the University of Westminster. So we were formed in 1838, so obviously we've been teaching for a large number of years. We were formed as the first polytechnic in London. What that means basically is that from the first day, we really focused on getting our students ready for the workplace, whatever profession they're doing. So, and you'll see that in all of our courses, that there's a huge professional focus. Obviously, there are academic programs, but they really are designed to get students as employable throughout your studies and also once you graduate, whatever that field is. And I'll come on to that throughout the presentation, whether that's through your lecturers who are working in the industry they're teaching, or your modules, your seminars that are very professionally focused, as well as field trips and other work placement opportunities. So we have around 19,000 students that study with us. And I'm very proud to say that we are an incredibly diverse university, which reflects London itself as a city. We have about 169 different nationalities that study with us. Of course, that includes South Africans. This is, whatever course you study, you'll be studying with students from all over the world. Your lectures will be from all over the world, and there are a wealth of other international opportunities that come with studying at Westminster, and also, of course, just being in London itself. We have 183 industry partners. So what this means is we have sort of set up arrangements and contracts as such with various employers in London, where we send our students on work placements. And we have, I think it's around 5,000 other more connections with companies where our students take up work placements and work experience, things like that. And we do have a royal link for any royalists out there. Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II is the patron of the university. So, you know, there's a bit of a royal prestige with the university as well. So again, talking about us being in the heart of London, here's a map of central London. Some of you may or may not be aware of it. You can see here, we've got 3 central London campuses: Marylebone, Cavendish, and the Regent Street campus. These are all right in the heart of central London, surrounded by things like the many embassies in the city, the main shopping district of Oxford Street, two of the largest royal parks in the city, Hyde Park and Regent's Park, as well as like things like the BBC, which is right next to the Regent Street campus, and Soho, of course, with the bustling nightlife, cafe, restaurant, bar culture. That's again about 5 to 10 minute walk away from your studying. So it's a really fantastic location. I myself am very thankful and lucky to work there, so I get to make the most of it as well. And I do study languages with students as well. So it's a really nice international atmosphere there, with everything right on your doorstep. Oh, sorry, I forgot to say, we've also got the Harrah Campus in Northwest London, if you look in the top left-hand corner. So this is it's about a 15-minute tube journey into central London. So it's not based right in the city centre, but it's very, very quick into the city centre. That's the largest physical geographical site of the university, and that's because that's where we home all of our, apart from architecture, which is in Marylebone, all of our creative media, arts and design programs, such as film production, television production, music, art and design, fashion design, journalism, etc. But that's a really, really creative space and campus at the Harrah Campus. Again, just to give you an idea, here's a tube map of London, central London. You can see each campus is surrounded by at least 2 to 3 tube stations, all within walking distance. So wherever you're living, wherever you want to go, in maybe social life or work or whatever it is where you're living, it's incredibly easy to get around. Whether you're taking the tube, the train, the bus, you might want to cycle routes all across the city as well. So yes, very, very easy to move around. And the vast majority of us Londoners do take public transport, because it is very reliable, very quick, and it's very easy to get around. Okay, moving on to London again. Why consider London? Well, of course, London is one of the greatest cities in the world. I'm biased. I think it's the greatest city in the world. You can look at the rankings for students. It's been ranked the best student city in the world numerous occasions, most recently 2018, 2019. Lots of famous landmarks, from Big Ben, House of Parliament, the many world-class museums in the city, which, unlike the majority of other European cities, are free for the public in London. So, you can easily get your culture fill in London for free, which is a fantastic benefit to us all. And as a student, you have loads and loads of student discounts across everything, from going to museum exhibitions, if there's something special there, going to the cinema, public transport, you get a 30% discount on public transport, food shopping, clothes shopping, you name it. There's a student discount for it. London is as well actually an incredibly green city. Not everyone is aware of this. Obviously, it has the history and it's a huge metropolis, but over 40% of the city is made up of green spaces. That covers the large royal parks, like I showed earlier, Hyde Park, Regent's Park, which is a 10-minute walk from the university, to the canals, the rivers, the sports fields. It's a really great city where you can enjoy all the benefits of being in the city, but also get your escape into the clean air, or the cleaner air, and countryside. You can see squirrels, foxes, hedgehogs, whatever it is in the parks. It's a very, very cool experience there. Sports, we're home to hundreds of world-class sporting clubs and opportunities. We've got about 6, maybe even more now, maybe 6 or 7 Premier League football clubs, from London. So if football's your thing, you know, you've got lots of teams you can support. I hope you support Arsenal because that's my team. Not very good, but still. And then, of course, there's things like Wimbledon tennis in the summer. You can enjoy that. We've got the Olympic legacy from 2012, which we've got the large Olympic Park where there's loads of, again, outdoor spaces and hub of activity there. So it's a really buzzing place to be. And of course, London, I mean, British music is famous worldwide, rightly so, excellent bands. And there's countless live music events, festivals, concerts going on every week. I was saying to George earlier that festivals have reopened again recently here in the UK, thankfully. So I myself was at a festival at the weekend in Victoria Park. So, you know, you'd have the chance to see lots of top bands a lot across the whole year. I spoke earlier, the transport is very safe, very secure. Studying at Westminster means that you are incredibly connected. And we're talking about transport and geographically. Based in the city centre of London, you get the chance to experience and enjoy everything that comes with that. Excellent public transport links, 4 campuses. And we're close to, London is surrounded by, I think it's 5 international airports. So, you know, whether you're traveling in and out from South Africa, Zimbabwe, other parts of the world, or to Europe, it's very, very easily accessible. London and the UK is a it's a gateway to continental Europe. In terms of connection as well, we're looking at career opportunities, you know, better career opportunities. This is why so many people from overseas come to the UK, come to London especially to study, because there are so many opportunities there. It's the same for other British students, come from all over the country to London, because the reality is this is where the vast majority of jobs are and opportunities. You know, some things to consider: there are over 1 million businesses operating within 30 kilometres of the university. London is one of the cultural and financial capitals of the world, of course. London has 3 times more European multinational headquarters than any other European city. And as I said earlier, we have 183 industry partners where our students take up things like work placements. And you can see here some of the professional accreditation. So beyond the practical nature of your course and, you know, the worldwide recognition that a British degree offers you, a vast majority of the courses offer further professional accreditation. So when you go to apply for jobs, employers can see, okay, this person has practical knowledge and skills, so they know what it takes to do the actual work, such as, you know, whether that's ACCA for accounting and finance, maybe Chartered Institute of Management or Chartered Institute of Marketing, among many others. Again, I've touched on this too. We are an incredibly diverse university, as well as, which reflects London itself. Over 200 languages are spoken throughout the city. We have 169 different nationalities that study with us. London is a very diverse and welcoming city. And whatever you're looking for, you know, if you want to go try some Ethiopian food or Italian food, of course, or wherever, or you want to go see some Spanish film festival, everything's here in London. And as a student at Westminster, if you're studying a bachelor's degree, you can actually learn another language as part of any degree, as part of your program. It's nothing additional. It can be learning from complete beginner to intermediate to advanced. And you can see we offer 4 languages there: Arabic, Chinese, French, Spanish, German, Italian, or Japanese. You have a 2-hour class each week, which goes towards your final degree grades. If you're doing a postgraduate program, that's available too, but there is a small additional charge for that. Again, as soon as you start with the university, as soon as you enroll, you will have full and free access to the university's large career development centre. And this is where we will get you ready for the UK job market, whether that's applying for part-time work during your studies to help support yourself. That might be looking to do internships in the summer, or doing a 1-year work placement on your bachelor's program, as well as, where you can see some of the huge and recognizable companies where our students have worked for during their studies and gone on to successfully form a career, such as Google, IBM, BBC, Bank of England, you know, Microsoft, Disney as well. Plus lots and lots of startup companies look to recruit our students to work for them. So there really is a wealth of professional opportunities when you study at Westminster. Beyond the actual work experience, We have excellent schemes such as the mentoring scheme, where you can apply to have a mentor in the industry that you're studying, that you want to work into, to be, point of contact, someone on the inside for you, directly for you, to give you consistent and continuous advice throughout, to make you as employable as possible. Also, lots of enterprise and entrepreneurship opportunities, competitions where students can gain funding for their projects, and also large graduate careers fairs take place at the university throughout the year. You can see one image there of a careers fair. We have large recruiters, large international companies come into university, set up stands, meet with students, so you would have the chance to network, make those connections, so that you can hopefully then know what you need to do to be successful in an internship opportunity. And then, as lots of students do your internship, and then once you graduate, you're in an excellent place to then take up full-time employment. They know what you can do, they know what you like. And then, of course, for international students now, it's another excellent incentive is a 2-year post-study work visa, which you would all be eligible for once you finish your studies, whether that's a 3-year or 4-year bachelor's degree or a 1-year master's degree. You would then have the right to apply for a 2-year post-study work visa to work full-time in the UK with no restrictions for 2 years. And then hopefully, if you do want to stay in the UK, within those 2 years, you can look to find a sponsor, or see what the other opportunities are to continue your work in the UK. And again, I've mentioned Entrepreneurship Enterprise. We have a huge creative enterprise centre, which focuses specifically on people working in sort of the creative sectors, taking up work placements and opportunities in that field. We also have the Entrepreneurial Society, where students can meet like-minded entrepreneurial students, and you can attend lots of talks. We have lots of guest speakers coming in, so it's a real melting pot of students with like-minded creative entrepreneurial minds. Now I'm going to run through the different campuses now at Westminster. To start with, oh, sorry, bear with me, I've lost my screen. Let me just share it again. Apologies. Does that happen? Okay, that should be there now. Sorry. Yes. Okay. I hope it's there. Oh.
All good, man. Looks like it was just a connection issue, I think.
Oh, okay. Let me just get this here. Are we back with sharing the screen? Yeah. Okay. Apologies for that. Yeah. So Cavendish Campus. This is the Central London, one of the 3 Central London campuses. It's where our main, our School of Computer Science Engineering, School of Life Sciences programs are taught. So anything from biomedical sciences to computer science, software engineering, as well as psychology, multimedia and games computing as well, business information systems as well. And we have about 6 to 7 floors of practical facilities at the Cavendish campus. We have a large library, 3 to 4 floors. We have huge social spaces, cafes, restaurants, etc. We've actually spent about £50 million in the last 4 years constantly renovating the university campuses to provide more and more social spaces. That's what our students wanted to see, so that's what the university did. But just to say as well, all students, whatever course you're studying, you will have full access to all the facilities on each campus. You would mainly be based on one of the campuses, depending on the course you're studying. However, if you wanted to study on one of the other campuses, you wanted to use the cinema at the Regent Street campus or the gym, you can do that. If you want to use the other library, you can do that. And all campuses have, high-speed Wi-Fi running all throughout. So, yeah, you would have full access, no matter what course you're studying, but you would mainly be based at one campus. Then we come on to the beautiful Regent Street campus, which is the original site of the university, again in central London. One side are the BBC studios, the other side is the main shopping street of London, Oxford Street, and behind that Soho. So hell of a location there. We've got the Regent Street Cinema built onto the university there, which is where the Lumiere brothers actually showed their first cinematic film in the UK. So it's full of history there. Lots of international film festivals take place there. Courses that are taught here include politics, international relations, history, anything to do with languages, law as well, and anything like sociology and criminology. These are all based at the beautiful Cavendish campus. You can see we've got marble staircases. And we also have the university gym there, which I'll come on to shortly. We have a gym at the Regent Street campus, as well as in the Harrah Campus in West London. Then we have the Maldon Campus, the final of the 3 central London campuses. And this is where the Westminster Business School and School of Architecture and Cities is based. So if you're studying accounting, marketing, business, maybe architecture, tourism, etc., you would be based at the Maldon Campus. And this is probably the most modern campus of the 4. Excellent facilities there, opposite Baker Street Tube Station, around the corner from Sherlock Holmes's fictitious house, but it's still there. And we have lots of excellent facilities there, practical facilities such as the Bloomberg Financial Suite, which is synced up exactly to the City of London. So if you're studying fintech or finance, business-related program, you will be able to use this state-of-the-art facility again to learn excellent practical skills, which mimic the work done by the people working in the financial sectors in the City of London and around the world. And we have about 4 floors of state-of-the-art architecture studios at the Maldon Campus, which is incredibly rare, considering we're located right in the city centre, and we have this excellent architecture facility there. Then coming on to the Harrah Campus in Northwest London. This is, I said earlier, this is where our media arts and design courses are taught. So from art and design, fashion design, film production, music production, we have 2 film production studios, music label. We have about 4 state-of-the-art music production suites, as well as fashion design studios. And we have lots of public showings of our students' work there. I know in fashion, our students work on London Fashion Week as well. So this is a hugely creative hub of students here, and it has a really unique, artistic, creative feel at the Harrah Campus. So your studies would be a lot more than your classes, your seminars, your lectures. You need to get involved in the societies. We have hundreds of societies, whether that you're a sportsman, you want to play for the university's football, rugby, basketball team in the national universities competition. Maybe you're into salsa dancing, you want to join the African Caribbean Society, whatever it is. There's lots and lots of societies where you can meet like-minded students with shared interests to you. And I do recommend, if you study with us or anywhere that you study, do join societies. It's a great way to enrich your study experience and make great friends. Sports on campus. So we have the Harrah gym, as well as the Regent Street gym. The Regent Street gym is, of course, in the Regent Street campus in central London. State-of-the-art facilities, cardio, weights. We also do exercise classes throughout the campuses, like kickboxing, Pilates, yoga, the usual exercise classes. And we have the university's sports grounds in Chiswick Sports Ground, where the university football teams, rugby teams, basketball, tennis, etc. play in the national competitions. It's obviously a big jump coming to study abroad, and we're aware of that. And there is lots and lots of support for you as soon as you come to the UK, as soon as you enroll to university. Free support through the through the enrollment and orientation week that we offer each year, giving talks from important groups within London, such as the police, setting up your bank accounts, getting used to the cultural changes, as well as talks from current students and university societies. On top of that, we do offer free access to specialised support throughout your studies, whether that's counselling support, disability learning support, faith and spirituality, you name it, there's free support for you as a student. We're just going to touch on some relatively new courses introduced within the last year or so. I'm sure you've got an idea of what you want to study, but there's some exciting new courses that have been developed. You can see we've got courses such as from undergraduate sports management, BSc, which has been developed in line with Queen's Park Rangers Football Club, which used to play in the Premier League, and other professional rugby clubs in London. We also have digital media and digital marketing. Digital media is a modern day adaptation of PR advertising and digital communications to tailor to the new world of communication. And then for postgraduate, we have programs such as digital marketing MSc, FinTech with Business Analytics MSc for the finance world using tech, and things like MBA and Sustainability Management and Innovation. So just some courses to maybe consider if you weren't exactly sure. When it comes to paying tuition fees are paid in 3 installments each academic year. If you're doing a bachelor's degree, you would repeat these 3 installments each academic year. If you're doing a master's, it's a 1-year master's course, so you just do 3 installments in that 1 year. So it's 50% of your academic year's fees when you enroll in September or maybe January for postgraduate, and then 2 further 25% installments later in the year, normally at the end of semester 1. So let's say you're starting next September. It would be 50% of your course fees when you enroll in September, then next 25% installment in December at the end of semester 1, and then the final installment for that academic year will need to be made at the start of semester 2 in January or February of the following year. In terms of scholarships, at the moment we only offer international postgraduate part fee scholarships of £2,000. So if you are looking to apply for a postgraduate course, do consider the international part fee scholarship. Main requirements are that you have a qualification equivalent to a UK 2-1 bachelor's degree. Accommodation, we have 4 accommodation sites throughout the city, 2 on campus, all with 24 hours, 7 days a week security, lots of social events taking place every week at the accommodation site. So again, it's a great way for you to make friends, be in a safe, secure environment. And we do prioritize this for international students. So if you want to find out more, obviously speak with Global Education and get in contact, because we do prioritize this for you. We also have 2 other accommodation sites throughout central London. So yeah, there's lots of opportunities for accommodation. If you want to find private accommodation, we work with private landlords, and we have done for many years. So we have trusted landlords that we can get you in contact with and find accommodation opportunities for you. They're all very state-of-the-art, modern, clean. Have your own room. There's some examples here. You have your own room, desk, some with ensuite, and you have like shared social spaces with things like great games rooms, pool tables, table tennis, etc. And you have a shared kitchen and among other things as well. And again, here's some more images of the university accommodation, just to give you an idea of what that is. If you are wanting to know more, like everyone will tell you, the best thing to do is to attend an open day. This used to be obviously almost impossible for international students, but one sort of positive, let's say, of the pandemic is that everyone's had to adapt to go online. So now our open days are given online. So you will have the same experience as everyone else in the world, here in the UK as well. They're free to sign up for and attend, and please do sign up, because you'll get to speak with lecturers, current students, past students, the accommodation team, admissions team, you name it. Loads and loads of the Vice Chancellor, loads and loads of great information can be shared and given to you if you attend an open day. Next one for undergraduate students or looking to study an undergraduate course is 9th of October, and for postgraduate is the 8th of September. Just go on our website, you'll see the link there to register for free for those. Now, just to recap, why choose the University of Westminster? There are a number of reasons. Firstly, vibrant state-of-the-art facilities and campuses. You'll get to make the most of all of these world-class facilities as part of your studies, throughout your studies, and also part of the societies, whether that's the Bloomberg Financial Suite, architecture studios, maybe you want to record some music, you want to get involved in art, you can use all that at the university. Our industry links, so we have 183 official industry partners at the university, and this is growing each year. We also have further links with 5,000 companies. So, I'm sure you'll be wanting to take up some kind of work placement or experience, and we will help you do that as soon as you start your studies at Westminster and throughout your studies. Academic teaching excellence, which is fueled by world-class research. On top of that, the lectures are all also very, very approachable. It's a lovely international welcoming community at Westminster that comes from the students and the university lecturers. They are all working in the industry they're teaching or have had a long successful career. So you will be learning from, the best experts in your field. So you're going to get further exposure to really great insight beyond your academic lectures and seminars and projects, etc. The careers and employability support and opportunities. This comes in the form of the Career Development Centre, the Creative Enterprise Centre. We get you ready to apply for jobs you want to apply for. We offer interview practice. We have graduate careers fairs throughout the year. We have expert industry speakers coming into university to give talks as part of your courses, but also as part of the extracurricular opportunities. So do make the most of that at Westminster. And finally, London is our campus. If you're interested in London, we are an excellent option to think about. London is on your doorstep, and you can make the most of everything that it offers being a student at Westminster. A bit wordy here in terms of entry requirements, but just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, if you're from South Africa, for example, National Senior Certificate or an International Foundation program. If you're looking to study for entry onto our bachelor's programs, if you're looking to apply for a postgraduate program, a bachelor's honours degree from South Africa with the normally for most courses 60%. Some might ask for 70% or above, but those are the typical entry requirements. We can also consider other qualifications if yours is slightly different. You have a bachelor's, but it's not honours, and you have a master's, or you might have relevant work experience. Just obviously speak with Global Education, and we can look into that for you. So the door can remain open for you. What I'll say as well is we do have a lot of students asking, I've studied accounting at bachelor's, but I want to do a master's in marketing or something, international relations. Can I be considered? The answer is yes. Obviously, you will need to show why you want to apply for your master's in a different field, but this is the reality of life, isn't it? We all things change. We get new career interests or personal interests, and we will consider that. You just have to obviously show that in a well-written manner and showing a logical explanation for that. So please do bear that in mind, that you will still be considered if you've studied a different subject area, maybe at high school or bachelor's. And then for Zimbabwean students, again, you can see here entry requirements from National Diploma, High National Diploma, as well as the SIMSEC and Foundation, and then a standard bachelor's degree onto our postgraduate programs. Obviously, follow this up. All this information is on our website on each country page, and speak with Global Education, who can, of course, advise you further on this. And entry requirements, most of the time coming from a recognized English-speaking country, we can exempt if you're going onto a master's course with a bachelor's degree. If you're coming onto into one of our bachelor's courses, sometimes you might need to take something like an IELTS or a Duolingo. But again, there may be some exemptions there, but we can check that after. Don't worry too much about that at this point. How to apply? So to apply for any bachelor's degree in the UK, in UK universities, everything goes through the online UCAS application platform. So it'd be ucas.com. Westminster's code is W50, and you can apply for a number of different courses at different universities. But it's all through UCAS. And if you're looking to apply for a postgraduate course, the application process with Westminster is direct. So just go onto the course page. We've recently developed this direct application process. On the course page, there's a link to make your direct online application, and we will assess that for you. There will be lots of deadlines. We're currently in the last etches of the September 2021 applicants and their final deadline, so I won't bore you with all that. But they will be things to consider later on in the year, and George and the guys at Global Education will advise you on all that. I just wanted to share with you a testimonial from one of our excellent recent alumni, Chantel from South Africa. So I've said to George, I'm hoping this sound works, but I'm going to let her share her experience at Westminster, and hopefully you guys can all hear that.
My name is Chantel Sandawana. I am from South Africa. I'm currently a student at the University of Westminster at the Maldon Campus, studying business management with entrepreneurship. The reason why I chose the University of Westminster is because of the diverse culture within the university. I've met students from all over the world, and that has given me the ability to connect and network with so many people. Secondly, the area of my campus, it's located in central London, where all the tourist attractions are, and it's kind of a vibrant business environment that also kind of fits with what I'm studying as a business student. That's what you want. You have to be in an environment that's very central and networking constantly. So those are the two aspects that made me choose the University of Westminster. My social life outside university is really amazing. I get to go around London and explore London, and with my friends, we go to different restaurants, cuisines, try different foods. One of my favorite markets is Spitalfields Market, where you can try different foods. And I love also traveling around the UK as well. Just seeing different tourist attractions, go to Covent Garden. Obviously, shopping as well is amazing here, and those are the things that I like to do in my social life. I stayed at Raffles House, which is in Wembley Park. Such an amazing, quiet area for first-year students. My experience was amazing because I got to meet so many international students who were also coming to study just like me. And I think it is crucial for each and every single student who's an international student to actually look into going into student accommodation. It really kind of prepares you in terms of settling in London and having friends in a network, especially coming into the UK by yourself without family. My application process was really easy because I was constantly in communication with the university's student accommodation department. As a student at the University of Westminster, also participating in so many things at the university as a course representative and a student ambassador, I have developed an interest in social entrepreneurship, and I'm currently a social entrepreneur myself, currently with my social enterprise. So studying my course has enabled me to think about entrepreneurship at a broader perspective and a more specific perspective as well. The support at the university has really been amazing because the university provides personal tutors who actually make sure that students are well settled within the university and are supported while they're away from home. I've met amazing personal tutors, specifically Irene, who is also my course leader. She's been amazing in ensuring that I settle well in the university and I develop skills that I will need in my career as well. She's kind of been a mentor and someone to talk to if I need help with in terms of my academics or personal any personal assistance that I may need help with. The advice that I'd give to students in South Africa or in Africa is that preparation is really important, preparing before you actually decide to study abroad. I started searching on the internet, on the university's website, some of the reviews, the student reviews, and kind of understanding the culture and student life before I actually make my decision. So I'd really say that preparing yourself and preparing yourself financially and psychologically as well before you make your decision is really imperative in ensuring that the decision you're making is the decision you want for your prolonged future. And I'd say that also preparing your family is really crucial in terms of so they can save up financially for you as well, for you to be able to study in the UK. Yes, but it is possible. It's just preparation that's really key, and just kind of get a sense of what you're putting yourself into before you come to London. It is an amazing city, and I wish you all the best.
Cool. Okay. Well, that finishes summarizes the presentation from me. Obviously, heard from Chantel. So yeah, George, if you want to open it up, take any questions.
That video of Chantal speaking was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. It was great to see her own experience and also relating her course to her potential career at the same time, recognizing that the networking of being in London is so critical. I thought that was an incredible takeaway for anybody listening in on this webinar. I think it's not just about what you study, it really is about, that whole feeling that when you study, you're networking the whole time. It's the people that you're going to create a business with, that you're going to get those career opportunities. And I think she really resonates with me with that. Maldon, got a couple of questions here for you. We've got one from Raphael, who's in our Harare office in Zimbabwe. He's asking about the post-study work visa. What happens if you fail to secure employment after the 2 years? What sort of happens there?
Hi Raphael, thanks for your question. If anyone in the UK on the post-study work visa doesn't secure a new visa, then they would have to leave the UK. So it does have a limited term of 2 years. I guess the idea for that, and the hope, is that students or people who are then working will then secure other forms of visas to stay in the UK, whether that's normally, a sponsorship visa from companies in the UK that sponsor non-UK nationals, which does happen for international students, has happened for over the years, and obviously you will boost your chances of that happening after having gained that 2 years of experience after your studies. There are other types of visas students can consider, but normally, things like if they meet someone or they set up a company as an entrepreneurial visa as well, but normally it would be through, I guess, looking for a sponsorship visa after those 2 years.
Just to add to that, Raphael, like the biggest thing for us at Global has always been preparation. A student, like if you're going to study in the UK, you have to take advantage of that study visa. It's the whole point of studying overseas, to get that international experience before you come back home and bring those skills to that country. So, like Chantal and Martin said during their presentation, it's all about preparation and utilizing those support services. It's something that I wish I took advantage of when I was studying. Those networking and those counseling sessions are just critical. Mine's probably a good question to ask you here. You mentioned a couple of the support services. How does it work? Are there like 20 people, 5 people? Like, is it a huge department? What does it kind of look like in reality?
Sure. So I think, so we have 2 sort of career centers, career teams. We have the Career Development Centre, which normally covers most of those students studying in central London. Then we have the Creative Enterprise Centre in the Harrah Campus. The teams, size-wise, between 6 to 10 people in the team. How it works for our students is that they, as soon as they enroll at the university, they register with the Career Development Centre. Then through the student portal, they request to have a meeting with an advisor from the careers team. That will be put into, obviously, calendar invite. They'll go along, meet the advisor face to face, talk about their background, what they're looking to do, whether it's part-time or whether it's internship, and then we will set about working on developing their CV for the UK job market, advertising and sharing work opportunities with them. And these are, sometimes we have drop-in centres for the career development teams, but most of the time students need to arrange meetings. Obviously, there are lots of students wanting to make the most of this service, but it's as simple as arranging free one-to-one meetings, taking it from there, and then having that consistent contact with the careers development team. Of course, like you said, it really is about the networking. And you're in London, in the city centre of London. Your lecturers are all, they have contacts. They want to help their students. Students that do well, they'll recommend them. They know people still working there. You never know where. I mean, this is a general life ideology, I guess, thinking, as you know, George, it's about getting out there, making contacts. You never know what's going to happen by attending this seminar, attending this event. And living in London there's just so much going on the whole time. Sometimes so much time goes and you're like, wow, where's the time gone? Because I've been out partying. I've attended this talk, this seminar. There's just so much going on every day of the week. So the opportunity is always there. So just my advice to anyone here today, just make the most of it and put yourself out there. Things will appear for you if you put yourself out there. At Westminster.
Just to follow up with that as well, what happens when students graduate? Is there still that type of support for Westminster's alumni? And
yeah. So the careers team do continue support for alumni, so that continues. We also have a huge alumni network where we offer further networking events with our alumni and other opportunities for our alumni. And then beyond that, in terms of the postgraduate, the post-study work visa, it's a very new visa. I mean, it's in the last year. So, to my knowledge, we're sort of like every university. We're adapting by going through what happens and taking it on board. But we will continue we do continue to support our students after graduation as alumni of the university.
Brilliant. And Raf, I know you're an Arsenal fan as well, and I see you put a message here that you're both feeling the same pain. So I won't mention anything else for that.
No, leave it there.
I've got another question here from Tamsmika Naidu. Tamsmika, thank you very much for your question. Does architecture require a portfolio? I'm presuming for application stage.
Yeah, good question. Hi there. Thanks for your question. Yeah, it does. Architecture is one of the most popular courses at the university. We offer RIBA accredited and RICS accredited, ARB and RIBA accredited Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 architecture programs, and they do require portfolio, definitely. And the course leader, he will review all applicants' portfolios, and obviously you need to have the initial grades, but that's a huge part of being offered a place on the architecture program. And that's the same for the vast majority of our art and design related programs, such as fashion design, art and design, those kinds of programs. Not all of them require portfolio, but yeah, architecture definitely does.
And Smika, and to Cynthia as well, who's asking about an agent to help them through. That's what Global Education is. So we're partnered with Westminster, and we're their authorized agent in South Africa and Zimbabwe. So we technically act like an in-house admissions team. So we will, have that counseling session with you. We'll identify your strengths and your weaknesses. What's the best option for you? Is even Westminster the best option for you? That's the beauty of working with Global, is that we act on your behalf and what's going to help you succeed with your career ambitions and your education ambitions. And then we work with the likes of Martin at Westminster, who are going to give us that hand-to-hand information on what you need to do to get accepted. And even when applying on the UCAS system, which is the application system that the UK universities use, we guide and help with all the entire process as well. So by all means, please do reach out to us. On the screen is you've got our Info Global email address. That'll go directly to a human. It's not an automated address. I think actually it's Fernanda's email, who's looking after this webinar as well with me. So please do send that email through and we'll gladly get an answer for you as well. And just to plug in Global here, we do it all for free. There's no charge with you with any of our services. There's an application fee that comes through, but that is a minuscule fee compared to what the expectation of studying abroad is as well. If anybody has any more questions for us, please put them through. We're just going to keep going with this conversation for a little bit. Martin, what's one place that you recommend to any student from South Africa or Zimbabwe should really check out? And I know you mentioned a couple of festivals, but I don't get in trouble with parents here.
That's a tough one. Place to check out. I mean, London is a city that mixes the old traditional with the new. So I would recommend visiting. I mean, you've got so many markets in the city, from Borough Market. You've got Shoreditch, which is full of, let's say it's the hipster central of London. So, you can find loads of food, great food there, music events, just really cool things happening there. I'd say as well, spend some time walking the Regent's Canal, which takes you past areas such as Camden, which again is that's where Amy Winehouse basically, well, she drank and spent her life there. But yeah, it's a musician's hub. It's a really, really sort of really interesting kind of, think of like London pop, punk, that kind of vibe. Camden, Shoreditch, which is where Jack the Ripper. I mean, it's a gory story, but it's really interesting history, and the streets all kind of look, well, they're the same as where they were back in the Victorian times. So there's lots of walking tours you can do, find out, wow, this happened here, that happened there. And then also you've got areas in West London, which is the sort of swanky part of the city, where areas such as Notting Hill, you might have seen the film with Hugh Grant, it's a while ago now, but it's a good idea of Notting Hill. You've got Portobello Market, so really, really nice streets to spend time in. And then beyond that, I've covered quite a few there. They're kind of my favourite parts. I like the old London architecture and style, and then also the green spaces in the canals, the outdoor markets, and the parks. Those are my, and obviously Emirates Stadium. Sometimes, not this year, but maybe next year it'll be a place to go.
I think I'm going to take you up on a couple of those if I can finally travel to London. Tomorrow, tomorrow you've got a question here. How does applying for a foundation course work? And do you apply through the university? That's also what we help with as well tomorrow. So we would do the entire process for you from start to end and figure out whether the foundation or direct entry is the best way for you. But Martin, if you could just answer that question from Westminster's point of view.
Yeah, so we, I mean, for international students applying for a bachelor's program, if you're applying with a qualification that we ordinarily accept with the right grades, for example, with your the SimTech, for example, or national diploma, etc., but you don't have the grades, then we could look to get you onto one of our inbuilt foundation programs. However, if you're applying with a qualification that starts below our the type of qualification that we need for direct entry, then we would recommend you to one of our partner foundation programs here in the UK. We work with Kaplan, for example, Kaplan International College London, who are based in the city centre of London at London Bridge, and students study with them, have guaranteed progression onto our bachelor's degrees, obviously provided they pass with the required grades. And there are other UK foundation providers I'm sure George and the guys at Global Education can speak about as well. So we recognise we have a number of institutions in the UK that are foundation providers that we do recognise for direct entry onto our bachelor's degrees, but it would normally be a separate application with the foundation provider. And then through that, you wouldn't need to make a new application as such. We're not with Kaplan because, as I said, it's guaranteed progression. We also have an international year one program with Kaplan, which could be an option for anyone looking to do that or needing to do that, where you can study, basically do year one, equivalent to year one of the bachelor's degree you're going on to, and then join the bachelor's degree in year two instead of at the start of it. So there are different options there, but typically it tends to be a separate application for a foundation program with one of our partners, recognized partners.
And tomorrow, just to add in with what Martin's saying there, Kaplan is one of our partners as well. We partner with all four of the four major pathway providers into the UK, so we can at least have that seamless application process for you, so that you're fully confident with the whole process. The other thing to keep in mind is the visa changes as well. So once you go from your pathway, then going into your second and your third year. So that's something that Global does help with as well. And the brilliant thing about a pathway program, it gives you that time to identify exactly what you want to study. Somebody like myself who was exposed to all of this at a really young age, I kind of had too much information thrown at me and couldn't figure out which course I would like to do. And that's something that a foundation program can help. I didn't have the benefit of the foundation program, but seeing my own students go through that process and seeing them come out at the other end of it in a second year application, or even in a first year application, it's just brilliant to see the thoughtfulness and the directness with their conversations from when they first start to once they finish the foundation. And also coming from South Africa and Zimbabwe, where it's really small. I mean, compared to the size of London, Joburg is big, but London is really intense. And that foundation program sort of eases you into it as well, a new way of teaching and schooling as well. So do take that into consideration as well. But please do email us and we'll gladly have that full consultation with you. Martin, I've got one more question here, I believe.
Yeah, cool.
Unless anybody else has any more questions, please put them through. I'm going to read it out here. I've just lost it. Sorry, give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
In terms of scholarship opportunities, question that's coming up here. Are there any other offerings by Westminster? Person is asking for if there are any other scholarship that they can be aware of or see on the website.
At the moment, for international students, it's really only the international postgraduate part fee scholarship. The other, the other option that's available to, actually, is that for next year? Actually, I won't say that because that might have gone. Yeah, at the moment, the scholarships website should be updating in September. So, I would recommend revisiting that just to see if any new opportunities do come about. But at the moment, it's looking mainly just the part fee scholarship. There are other sort of scholarships not from the university, but you can use for the university, such as Achieving Scholarship, which is maybe something to look for. But again, I think that is actually for postgraduate applicants too.
Yeah. And to everybody looking in with scholarships as well, scholarships are really hard to find, especially full scholarships. They've almost practically non-existent at this point in time. You've got to think about with the pandemic affecting not just the universities, but businesses across the board. The likes we like to deal with the University of Westminster because they're doing a lot for all our students, in terms of support structure and services. So just keep that in mind when you're looking to choose a university. You might find one with this full scholarship or a part scholarship, but remember your visa gets affected as well. You still need to show proof of funds for living in the UK, and that's really critical for that approval level. And these are all the sorts of questions that Global gets involved with at the very beginning, so you can make a confident decision at the start rather than applying and then figuring out, oh wait, I can't actually go because of X, Y, and Z. So please do keep that in mind when you're having these discussions. And it is a family decision in our countries, in South Africa and Zimbabwe. So please, involve your parents, involve your your kids. Please do speak with us as well. Martin, if you got any last words, I think we're done. I think we're good with this one. I want to thank you very much for your time. I really do appreciate your time, Martin.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, George. It's been great to speak with you. I know hopefully one day we'll all meet physically in person. I guess, final words from me. I hope everyone here today is well and safe. And let's hope that the future is very bright for all of us. Here in the UK and London, I thought I'd just talk about how things are in terms of lockdown and pandemic. You might have seen in the news, you might not have. So the vaccine rollout here has been relatively successful, which is we're very lucky for. And society in whole has pretty much reopened again. There are still safety measures in place in most places when you're inside. But I was saying things like restaurants, bars, festivals, sporting events, Premier League football matches, they've all reopened again. So hopefully, I guess most of you will be thinking of studying next year. Hopefully by then, things have got even better. And I guess just to finalise by saying, University of Westminster is a very welcoming and multicultural community with a real focus on professional development during and after your studies. So if that's something that interests you, of course, the London life, London style, we're a great option for you. And yeah, I wherever you go, as George said, there may be other universities that are a better fit for you, and that's perfectly fine. So just take your time, do your research, attend open days, attend our open day, attend the other universities' open days, do your research, and you'll find the right option. But hopefully it can be us at Westminster. You can join me at the at Arsenal Stadium next season.
Thanks, everybody. Cheers, Martin. And here's to Arsenal having a win.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Take care. Bye.